Hey Space Watchers, and welcome back here. We are at the 19th ESPI Autumn Conference in the middle of Vienna. And we are not just in the middle of Vienna, we are here in the courtyard of the Vienna townhouse. What a fantastic place. And I have now the great honor to speak to an Austrian, in English obviously, with Major Robert Pfaffenbauer from the Austrian Ministry of Defence. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm perfectly fine. It's such a great venue here, and I'm happy to be here. So,
But
thanks for having me.
You're quite often here, I assume.
Well, not right in here in Rathaus, but yeah, in Vienna. That's where I'm placed.
Okay, wonderful. So, let's talk about space and the Austrian military. I mean, you don't have, if I'm correct and informed in that, not too many space assets. So the number are limit that you have in space. So why is space important for the MOD?
Well, space plays a really large role for our whole society. Everyone knows about that. So the dependency on space rises from year to year, actually, and in the future it's going to take the same trajectory. Mm-hmm. So when dependencies rise, vulnerabilities rise as well. And right now, this is not vulnerability on a society in a resilience way. It's not only a military topic. It's a whole of government topic, of course, but military contributes in a very large part to that. So, of course, we look at whole of government resilience, first of all, but we also look at military resilience because, military weapon systems, navigation, secure communication, all that also depends on space. So we're trying to get ahead of that and raise our resilience.
Before we talk about the resilience and what the systems are that you're using today, so the question is, how is Austria, how is your department, how is the military assess space threats today? Because it's hard if you don't have assets in space, so what are you assessing? So what is in danger for you then? So
it's a very layered question, I would say, because we start on a very strategic level. Mm-hmm. We have a risk assessment, which is done by the military, by the Federal Ministry of Defence, and we actually have a publication. It's called Risk Monitor. Every year, annually in January, we make it public. Yeah. We have the strategies, of course, with the Austrian security strategy and the MOD, the strategies, and we have a third part, which is the Federal Crisis Security Act. And within that, there's another publication actually evaluating the achievement of these goals set in the strategies. And there's actually 30 recommendations. They're called options. Yeah. 3 of them are directly connected to space. So they're, for example, establishing national space capabilities on a whole of government level, and rolling out PRS and exploiting space technologies.
PRS stands for?
The Galileo public.
Okay. The Galileo. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're looking at it on a comprehensive level, and of course, in military, we are building up that situational awareness on the military part. Yeah. But that's in the plans ahead.
Is it something you do on your own or in collaboration with others, so EUSST or other allies, knowing that you're not a NATO member? Right. So, but
well, that's a really important question. The resilience of the Austrian resilience is layered within a European resilience. If we're talking about European resilience, you have to talk about national resilience as well. It's not excluding the other, so it's two sides of the same coin. And when we're building up national resilience, I would say in Austria, that's always thought in a collaborative way within Europe, of course. So everything we do on a sovereign interest is also collaborative. I can give you an example, actually. We have a new project which is set to launch end of next year. It's LEO to VLEO. It's a project in very low Earth orbit or low Earth orbit. And it's actually 3 really interesting features. Yeah. The first one is it has a SIGINT payload for navigation of warfare. So we all know about jamming and spoofing. This is very important, actually, and it's kind of a niche in Europe as well, which why I'm mentioning that. The second part, which is quite important, it has operational levels. So it changes orbital height. It can move down closer to Earth to get a better resolution. That's quite interesting and maybe a little new. And the third part, and this is really a great step in my opinion, we're trying to become more sovereign with a collaborative project.
I was about to ask, isn't this project together with other nations?
Yes, we're working together with the Netherlands on that project. And the great thing is why I'm trying to say this and put emphasis on that is sovereignty, interest, and collaboration. They don't exclude each other. You have to talk about levels, and we heard something before about levels of sovereignty. So
Absolutely.
you can harmonize that, and this is actually our approach. This is how we want to tackle that, because some things in space you cannot do alone.
Absolutely, and now we're on the resilience part. So give us a bit of an outlook. So where Austria wants to go on that side, because at the end it also requires assets in space. You mentioned the VLEO, but what else is planned? I mean, you had your big neighbor on the west side just announced a 35 billion package for space security development. So that's a huge thing, absolutely. But so where is Austria planning to be, as best as you can describe that?
It's quite obvious. We have an Austrian military space strategy 2035 plus, and it depicts basically if we want to identify risks, we want to mitigate the effects of these risks, and we want to ensure the sustainment of military operations in degraded environments. And to do that, we have to transition as armed forces from a user of space services to an actor, or to an active operator and provider of space services. So that includes all the domains. So it includes SATCOM, satellite communications, PNT, and of course SSA, so situational awareness, and space-based Earth observation. So
ISR
we have the whole so we have the whole package actually in planning, and we're going for the full package. Yeah.
No launchers. Because I didn't hear it, so that's
I didn't put emphasis on it. Of course, the launcher segment and the industry behind it is often neglected, plays a huge part, and we have to account for that. But again, on a European level, that's a collaborative effort.
Wonderful, cool. So, what are the next steps that the government is going? So, what can we expect in the next years?
Well, right now what we're doing, we have set our plan straight. We have set our goals. We're right now in the process of realizing these goals, and those are the next steps. Actually, we need, of course, personnel behind it. We need some training. That's some new effect, and of course some awareness in different domains. I would say that are not really used to space and the vulnerabilities of space. So there's a lot to do in that area, and I think we're on a great track.
When you say you need personnel, how do you find them? Is it within the military, or shall our audience or listeners are calling you and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a job in the MOD"?
Oh, so we are open for these calls, of course. Anyone can come.
Okay, so Space Watchers, listen to him.
Yeah, you're welcome in our army, anyways. But also we have, of course, to look for a shift within the military and within the MOD to these new areas, and that requires, of course, awareness and a lot of dialogue.
Tony, thank you very much for your time. It was a great pleasure to get a bit of an insight into what the Austrian MOD is planning in space, and good luck with that. And I mean, you have strong neighbors on your side. That's what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that, Space Watch out.